You might think you're in control of your own decisions, but the truth is, many of your choices are the result of a psychological playbook, a playbook written not for you, but for soldiers on a battlefield. Today we're exposing the 27 biggest war tricks that are now used on you every day. It's time to see how the game is really played. 1. The Decoy. In the lead-up to the D-Day invasion, the Allies assembled a massive phantom army in Kent, England. Commanded by the famous General Patton, this ghost army was made up of inflatable tanks, wooden airplanes, and fake radio chatter to convince the German High Command that the main invasion would be at Pas-de-Calais, not Normandy. The decoy worked perfectly. This tactic exploits a cognitive bias called anchoring, where the first piece of information you receive heavily influences your judgment. In the modern world, this is the supermarket's loss leader. That shockingly cheap rotisserie chicken isn't a gesture of goodwill, it's a decoy. It anchors your perception of the store's prices, making you feel like everything is a bargain, and you fill your cart accordingly. You walk in for a cheap chicken, but you walk out with a $150 grocery bill, financially defeated by a tactic designed to outsmart the Third Reich. 2. Creating a common enemy. To rally a nation for the immense sacrifice of war, you must give them a single, simple target for their fear and anger. Wartime propaganda excels at this, using posters and films to caricature the enemy, turning a complex political conflict into a primal story of us versus them. This taps into our deep-seated need for tribal belonging. Our brains are hardwired to form in-groups and out-groups. This is the entire playbook for modern brand loyalty. The iPhone versus Android or PlayStation versus Xbox arguments are carefully cultivated by marketers. They want you to feel like your purchase makes you part of a superior tribe, so you will eagerly defend their products and attack their rivals for free. You think you're arguing about features, but you're really a volunteer soldier in a corporate holy war. 3. Shock and awe. The German Blitzkrieg, or Lightning War, was a strategy designed to induce psychological paralysis. It wasn't just about the speed of the tanks, it was about the combined, terrifying assault from dive bombers with screaming sirens, overwhelming radio traffic, and a relentless advance. The goal was to shatter the enemy's ability to think rationally. This is the exact strategy of every Black Friday or Prime Day sale. You are intentionally bombarded from all sides with a sudden barrage of emails, push notifications, and countdown timers. This sensory overload is designed to trigger your brain's panic response, overwhelming your rational mind and forcing an impulsive, emotional decision to buy now. Your inbox isn't just full, it's under a coordinated strategic assault. 4. Burn the boats. When the Spanish conquistador Hernán Cortés landed in Mexico in 1519, he faced a vastly larger Aztec army. To eliminate any thought of retreat among his men, he gave a drastic order: scuttle the ships. With their only escape route destroyed, his soldiers had only two options: conquer or die. This is a powerful demonstration of forced commitment. This brutal military tactic is now celebrated in the world of business and startups. Quitting your stable job to found a company is the modern equivalent of burning your boats. By removing your safety net, you create an artificial life-or-death pressure to motivate yourself. It's not a leap of faith, it's a military tactic to make failure feel fatal. 5. The sunk cost fallacy. Imagine a general in a long, brutal siege. He knows the battle is likely lost, but he's already sacrificed thousands of soldiers. To retreat now would be to admit that all those lives were lost for nothing, so he presses on, losing even more. This irrational escalation is the sunk cost fallacy. This psychological trap governs our daily lives. It's the reason you keep watching a terrible movie for 2 hours just because you started it. It's why you pour more money into a failing car. Your brain is wired to irrationally honor past investments, even if it guarantees future losses. The tactic that lost generals their armies is the same one that makes you sit through the terrible sequel to a movie you didn't even like.
6. Fear, uncertainty, and doubt. FUD is a classic psychological warfare tactic used by intelligence agencies. You don't need to prove the enemy is weak, you just need to spread enough rumors, disinformation, and vague threats to make their own soldiers and population doubt their leaders and question their chances of survival. This preys on our natural aversion to ambiguity. FUD is now the cornerstone of marketing and politics. A software company won't just say their antivirus is good, they'll run ads that hint that your current antivirus might have a hidden vulnerability. They don't have to prove it, they just have to plant the seed of doubt. They're not selling you a better future, they're selling you a deep-seated fear of the present. 7. Intelligence asymmetry. In warfare and espionage, the ultimate advantage is knowing everything about your opponent while they know nothing about you. This is intelligence asymmetry. It allows you to anticipate their moves, exploit their weaknesses, and operate with impunity. This is the fundamental business model of the entire modern internet. Companies like Google, Meta, and Amazon are designed to be intelligence-gathering machines. They encourage you to share the most intimate details of your life for free, while their own data collection methods and internal algorithms remain the most closely guarded secrets in the world. You're fighting an enemy you can't see, using a weapon you don't understand, and the battlefield is your own personal data. 8. Divide and conquer. The Roman Empire stayed in power for centuries by mastering this strategy. Faced with a massive coalition of Gallic tribes, Julius Caesar would offer land to one tribe, bribe another, and exploit an ancient rivalry with a third. He broke the powerful alliance into small, weak, isolated groups that he could then easily defeat. This taps into our in-group and out-group biases. This is the subtle but brutal reality of modern office politics. A manager wanting to push through an unpopular decision might create a new project that pits two of their most vocal opponents against each other for the lead role, ensuring they're too busy fighting each other to unite against the real issue. The strategy that conquered Gaul is now being used to decide who gets control of the quarterly budget. 9. Winning hearts and minds. During the Vietnam War, military strategists realized they couldn't win by force alone. They needed to win the support of the Vietnamese population by providing security, building schools, and offering medical aid. The goal was to make the population an ally. This is the entire concept of reciprocity, a powerful psychological trigger where we feel obligated to give back to those who have given us something first. This is now called content marketing. Companies create free, valuable content, helpful tutorials, entertaining videos, in-depth guides to win your trust and make you feel indebted to them before they ever ask you to buy something. That helpful video you just watched wasn't an act of kindness, it was a strategic hearts and minds campaign for your wallet. 10. Minimal viable force. A key principle of military strategy is the economy of force. You never commit your elite special forces to a task that a small infantry squad can handle. You use the absolute minimum force necessary to probe the enemy's defenses, gather intelligence, and achieve minor objectives. This is the logic behind A/B testing in online advertising. Why would a company spend millions on a Super Bowl ad based on a guess? Instead, they will spend a few $100s to run two identical Facebook ads with slightly different headlines. They use minimal force to see which ad you, the enemy, respond to, gathering crucial intelligence before they launch the full-scale marketing invasion. You're not just seeing an ad, you're a test subject in a low-cost military reconnaissance mission. 11. Securing the high ground. From ancient Sparta to modern warfare, military doctrine is obsessed with the tactical advantage of holding the high ground. It provides a superior field of fire, better visibility, and forces the enemy to expend enormous energy fighting uphill. This is the reason for the first mover advantage in business. The first company to dominate a new market like Google in search gets to establish the high ground. They set the rules and define the territory. All competitors are then forced to fight an exhausting, almost impossible uphill battle against their entrenched position. Every startup is in a desperate race to capture the digital high ground before their competitors can even see the hill.
12. The two-front war. Forcing your enemy to divide their forces to fight in two different directions is a nightmare for any commander. It splits their attention, stretches their supply lines, and guarantees they can't bring their full strength to bear on either front, making them vulnerable. This exploits cognitive load, our brain's limited capacity for handling multiple complex tasks at once. This is used against you in negotiations. A car salesman will fight you on the car's price, then suddenly introduce a confusingly low trade-in value for your old car. By forcing you to fight a two-front war over two separate, confusing numbers, they exhaust your mental resources until you concede on both. You think you're getting a good deal, but you're actually losing a battle on two fronts you didn't even know you were fighting. 13. Normalcy bias. Military intelligence agencies know that populations are psychologically predisposed to disbelieve the first warnings of a disaster. This is the normalcy bias, our deep-seated assumption that the future will largely be the same as the past. Because something has never happened before, our brains find it hard to accept it will happen now. This brief window of disbelief is a massive tactical advantage for an attacker. This is why you ignore advice to have a 6-month emergency fund. Because you've never needed it, the threat feels unreal. Your brain is hardwired with a feature that military planners actively exploit, the assumption that today will be exactly like yesterday. 14. The Trojan horse. The story is legendary. The Greeks, unable to breach the walls of Troy, left a massive wooden horse as a gift. The Trojans, celebrating their apparent victory, brought the horse inside. But the gift was a deception, filled with soldiers who opened the city gates from within. This tactic works by bypassing defenses by not looking like a threat. This is the strategy behind every piece of free software that comes bundled with hidden ad trackers, spyware, or browser toolbars. The useful app is the Trojan horse. Your trust is the city gate. You didn't just download a free PDF converter, you wield a Greek army onto your hard drive. 15. Attrition warfare. Not all wars are won with clever tactics. Many are won with the brutal, grinding strategy of attrition. The goal is simple: to destroy the enemy's men and material faster than they can replace them. It's a grim contest of who has more resources and a greater capacity to endure losses until the other side simply breaks. This is the business model of corporate giants like Amazon. They can enter a new market and operate at a loss, selling products cheaper than small businesses can afford. They don't have to be more clever, they just have to bleed money slower until all their smaller competitors have been ground into bankruptcy. The small business on your corner isn't just competing with a big box store, it's facing an economic siege it was never equipped to survive. 16. Decentralized command. An army with a single centralized general is efficient but also vulnerable. Take out the leader and the entire army can be paralyzed. A decentralized command structure, like that used in guerrilla warfare, is made of many small independent units. This makes the entire force incredibly resilient. This explains why it is so difficult to stop an internet movement or a cancel mob. There is no single leader to deplatform or debate. The online mob operates like a guerrilla army. Each individual is empowered to act on their own. Trying to stop a leaderless internet mob is like fighting a hydra. For every one account you suspend, 10 more appear. 17. The preemptive strike. Seizing the initiative by attacking the enemy before they have a chance to mobilize and launch their own attack is a decisive military strategy. It allows you to dictate the terms of the battle and keep them on the defensive. This is the psychology behind the sign up for our newsletter for 10% off pop-up that attacks you the very second you land on a website. They are launching a preemptive strike on your attention and your wallet before you've even had a chance to form an opinion about their products, hoping to secure your email address before you can put up your defenses. That annoying pop-up isn't a greeting, it's the digital equivalent of an artillery barrage on your attention span.
18. Camouflage. In nature and in warfare, the art of blending into the surrounding environment is a key to survival and ambush. By matching the patterns, colors, and textures of the terrain, a soldier can become nearly invisible to the enemy. This is the entire principle behind native advertising and sponsored content. An advertisement is deliberately designed to look and feel exactly like a normal news article, an Instagram post from a friend, or a TikTok video. It is camouflaged to match its environment, tricking you into lowering your guard and engaging with a paid promotion because you thought it was authentic, trusted content. You didn't just read an interesting article. You were ambushed by an advertisement in perfect camouflage. 19. The limited hangout. This is a sophisticated deception tactic from the world of espionage. When an intelligence agency knows a secret operation is about to be exposed, they will leak a small, less damaging part of the story themselves. This limited confession makes them look honest and satisfies public curiosity, often stopping journalists from digging further to find the much larger, more damaging truth. This is the standard corporate PR apology. When a company is caught in a massive scandal, they will issue a carefully worded statement admitting to a minor oversight while completely ignoring the systemic problems that caused it. The public apology isn't an act of contrition. It's a strategic retreat designed to protect the king. 20. Mission creep. A military operation almost always begins with a small, clear, and achievable objective. But then a small secondary objective is added, and then another. Over time, these small additions cause the original mission to creep into a much larger, more complex, and often unwinnable commitment. This is the core design of every social media.
18. Camouflage. In nature and in warfare, the art of blending into the surrounding environment is a key to survival and ambush. By matching the patterns, colors, and textures of the terrain, a soldier can become nearly invisible to the enemy. This is the entire principle behind native advertising and sponsored content. An advertisement is deliberately designed to look and feel exactly like a normal news article, an Instagram post from a friend, or a TikTok video. It is camouflaged to match its environment, tricking you into lowering your guard and engaging with a paid promotion because you thought it was authentic, trusted content. You didn't just read an interesting article. You were ambushed by an advertisement in perfect camouflage. 21. The false flag operation. This is one of the darkest military deceptions. An organization conducts an attack on itself and then falsely blames it on an enemy. This fabricated attack is then used as a pretext to justify going to war against the enemy they framed. A softer version of this is used in business. A company might create an anonymous watchdog website or a fake grassroots social media account that spreads negative rumors and bad reviews about a competitor's product, all while appearing to be an independent, trustworthy source. The unbiased review you just read might have been written by the marketing department of the company you're supposed to buy from instead. 22. Defect in place. In the world of espionage, the most valuable spies are often not the ones you extract, but the ones who defect in place. They remain in their high-level positions within an enemy government, secretly feeding a steady stream of priceless information back to their handlers. This is the logic behind corporate brand ambassador and superfan programs. Companies identify their most influential and passionate customers and give them special perks, early access, and a sense of insider status.
In return, these customers become willing sleeper agents, defending the brand in public forums and feeding valuable market intelligence back to the company. The most passionate defender of a brand in the comments section might not just be a fan. They might be an unofficially activated agent. 23. Softening the target. Before a major ground assault, an army will unleash a massive, sustained artillery or air bombardment on the enemy's defenses. The goal is to destroy fortifications, disrupt communications, and shatter morale. This softens up the target, making the subsequent ground attack far more likely to succeed. This is the entire purpose of the months-long marketing blitz before a major blockbuster movie. The endless trailers, posters, celebrity interviews, and talk show appearances are the artillery barrage. By the time the movie is released, you have been so thoroughly bombarded with marketing that your resistance is low and you feel like it's a cultural event you can't miss. You don't just decide to see a movie, you surrender to a multi-million-dollar psychological bombardment.
24. Compartmentalization. In any secret operation, from building a spy network to designing a new stealth bomber, information is compartmentalized. It's broken into small pieces, and each person is only given the absolute minimum information they need to do their specific job, the need-to-know basis. This prevents a single captured agent from compromising the entire mission. This is the structure of the modern corporate workplace. Departments are often siloed, and information is kept on a need-to-know basis. This isn't just for efficiency. It concentrates power at the top and prevents lower-level employees from seeing the big picture and potentially challenging decisions. The reason you don't know what the other department is doing isn't just because it's irrelevant to you, it's because information is power, and you're not meant to have it. 25. Establishing a beachhead. In any amphibious invasion, like Normandy, the first and most difficult objective is to establish a beachhead, a secure foothold on hostile territory. Once the beach is secure, you can land an overwhelming force of troops, tanks, and supplies to begin the real campaign. This is the freemium model for every app on your phone. The free version isn't the real product, it's the beachhead. Its goal is to invade the hostile territory of your daily habits. Once the app is deeply embedded in your life, the main attack begins. The constant notifications, feature limitations, and relentless offers to upgrade to the premium version. That free app isn't a gift, it's an invasion force waiting for the signal to attack. 26. The Golden Bridge. The ancient Chinese general Sun Tzu wrote that you should never completely corner an enemy. An army with no escape route will fight with the ferocious courage of desperation. Instead, you should always leave them a golden bridge, an obvious path of retreat. This breaks their will to fight and allows you to destroy them as they flee in disarray. This powerful psychological trick is the 30-day money-back guarantee. A customer who feels trapped by a purchase will fight back with bad reviews and angry calls. By offering an easy, risk-free escape route, companies lower your brain's natural risk aversion, making the initial decision to buy feel safe and reversible, even though most people never use the guarantee. That money-back guarantee isn't there to protect you. It's the golden bridge designed to ensure your wallet's swift and orderly surrender. 27. Asymmetric warfare. How does a small, agile force defeat a large, powerful army? They refuse to fight a conventional battle. They use asymmetric tactics, ambushes, sabotage, and hit-and-run raids. They turn the larger army's slow speed and rigid structure into a weakness. This was the original concept of guerrilla marketing. A small startup with no money can't afford a Super Bowl ad to fight Coca-Cola head-on. So they use asymmetric tactics, a clever PR stunt, a hilarious viral video, or a witty comeback on social media. They use their speed and creativity to win small, decisive battles for public attention.
Every viral marketing campaign you've ever seen is the modern equivalent of a successful battlefield ambush. So there you have it. The modern world isn't a marketplace of ideas, it's a battlefield of the mind, and the rulebook was written centuries ago. These tactics are powerful because they don't target your logic, they target the ancient, predictable flaws in human psychology. The playbook is centuries old because the target, your brain, hasn't changed at all. But knowing the playbook is the first step to defending yourself against it. The lies and manipulations only work when they are invisible. Now you can start to see them. And if you want to be better prepared for the world you're actually living in and join a community of people who are learning to see the truth, you know what to do. Hit like and subscribe to Falsum to arm yourself with knowledge.